What's up, guys? Joe and Kill and the crew from the AZ Westside Wheelers here, doing a little testing on Scrappy, seeing how this custom triangulated Westside 4-link's working. Stick around. Okay, go ahead. I think you'll put that passenger tire in that hole. Driver. Turn driver. You'll have to work it all the way back. Go, go, go.
Are you stuck?
I'm stuck.
Stucky?
I'm stucky.
Oh no.
No.
No. You're fine.
little driver and you'll get over that hump. There's a big rock on the driver's side. Yep.
These tires are wet.
Smidge too late.
Tires wet.
Right there. Smooth and steady forward.
Perfect.
I mean perfect. Not over throttle, not under throttle. That was fucking perfect, brother. See, without lockers, I'm a true open, no limited slip. So that front end does nothing for you.
Good job, Dad.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
All right.
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted, you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head, I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test, I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored?
How did it drive today?
It was pretty good.
Yeah?
Could definitely keep a better pace than we did before. Having bigger tires definitely makes a huge difference in being able to pick your line instead of being stuck on one line. So definitely a plus in my book.
Right. That's good.
Definitely. My sway bar is in my spring.
That's not good.
No, that's not good.
And there you have it. Some smashed tin, missing bushing, and a little bit of overflexing, but everything stayed together. Test one made it. Scrappy did pretty good. What do you think?
Overall, I really am pretty happy with the build. I feel like adding a little bit more flex, a little bit longer length on those rear links really helped add a lot of travel, dialing in the bump stops, making sure that they're trimmed, just making sure that you get as much flex and travel as you can without over flexing, controlling that travel, making sure all your angles are correct, your pinion angles and everything to avoid vibration on the highway, adding bigger tires, trimming to make sure they don't rub, clearancing everything. It really allowed the Jeep to be able to point it in a direction and just go that way instead of having to go around and choose a line because you don't have the tire clearance to maybe make it over an obstacle, or you can't flex enough to drop a tire down into that ditch to stay up on the wall. All of those things really came into effect today, and I think that overall it's a night and day difference. I'd say
Totally.
I'm definitely a lot happier with the way this build is going than stock.
Well, from day one, that's what I tell everybody. You know, it's work to build these things. And then once you get it built, it's not, unless you're buying an off-the-shelf kit that's just Synergy did all the hard work for you, put this on and drive it. If you're building something custom, if you're doing, like Monstro's not just a Synergy out-of-the-box kit. I've added and done different things to it to make it a little bit more. The Robican, that thing is pretty much a Frankenstein of decent parts to make it a flex monster for a very small budget. It's all even about working in your budget and working with what you have. You want flex, but you want usable flex. It doesn't matter if you have 75 inches of travel. If you're cutting tires, things are detonating. You want it to all be usable and make it down the trail every single time, every single day. That's the goal.
And that being said, this is a budget build, you know. I mean, altogether, I'll have to put together a price list to let you guys know exactly what we have into it, but I'm pretty sure we're still under $6,000, including the price of the vehicle, because we've done the work ourselves. You know,
Monstro's last 2 sets of tires.
you know, I mean, we've done a lot of this work, all of the work ourselves, in between figuring out the angles and the geometry for how the suspension is going to work, to fabricating everything and sourcing parts from, you know, JK links that weren't being used after somebody got rid of them, or
there was a lot of thought that went behind it. So when we looked at it, he had this A-arm looking deal. Looks like a boomerang on top of there. Well, after looking at some of the parts that we had taken off of a JK, some of the stock arms and things, I did a little research and found that those could be used as links in the rear. So I thought, okay, well, what about that top piece? That's the biggest hindrance right there. So if we could do a triangulated 4-link on there, now we don't have the budget for like an iron rock badass long arm like we would love to put on there, but working with our budget, we got a bracket, had to custom do the angle of the bracketry and stuff on top of there, but we were able to make a 4-link that worked pretty well for pretty cheap. I mean, I would have to say, what, $400 or $500 for the arms and everything?
I would say less
besides
than
our
that.
mess ups.
I would say even less than that. So
yeah.
For the whole suspension, I would say altogether it was probably about $250.
See, and that's a 4-link. That's all 4 rear control arms and triangulated at the top with a bracket. Now, if you can do the welding yourself, you're probably a little cheaper than that even. We had to farm out the welding because we wanted it done well, and we're just novice at the welding aspect.
And
so.
that cost me a case of beer. So if you could find a friend that's a good welder that's willing to do the work for a case of beer,
I trade out most of Monstro's welding. I do suspension work for them. They do my welding for me. It worked very well. So, you know, just find a good buddy and you can do a system like this too. If you have questions about it, we're going to try and go over a little bit of detail about what we did, what we used, some of the things that worked, what didn't. And we'll try and go over that in a video for you and wrap up the rear of this in a decent build sheet for you. So, if you like what you see, go down in the comments. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you want to see more of. If you got questions about this, let us know. We'll do short videos. If we have to, we'll break out the camera and we'll do an entire video on what you guys want to see about what we did. We just need to know. We appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Always stay wheeling.
And when you get bored of killing me, and when you get bored of killing me, and when you get bored of killing me, and when you get bored of killing me.